If you can't predict next month's income, you're not alone. Without a system, it's quietly costing you years and thousands of dollars while you figure it out by trial and error. Trust me, I've been there. And in this video, I'm handing you the exact 6-pillar system I use to go from zero to consistent $10,000 a month when I first started out. When we go through the 6 pillars, I want you to be honest and kind of do a traffic light thing. So if it's green, it means it's working, there are no gaps. If it's yellow, it exists, but it's a little bit shaky. And if it's red, you're missing this altogether or it's barely there and you need to work on that. So the first one is identify. This is something you've heard before, but it's always good to repeat. Identify is knowing exactly who you help and exactly what you do for them. And for you, it's specifically who you help and specific transformation that you get them from A to B. M stands for market. And this is how you show up as the legitimate expert before anyone talks to you. That used to mean just a website. Now it also means how you show up in AI search because more people are using AI to search for you. So you want to come up in AI search results. This is a new pillar and people underinvest in it because it doesn't feel urgent, right? It's something that happens later on. If I set up my website right now for success with AI, it's going to take a while until I show up in AI results, but it is important. So I help my clients set up their website with AEO and GEO, which are all ways to get your site showing up in ChatGPT and places like that. All right, the P, pull is your lead generation engine. This is where I live. This is where I spend most of my time on with my clients. This is the system that brings people to you instead of you chasing them one at a time. This is where most coaches and consultants and service professionals get stuck because posting consistently and just hoping is not a system. There's a whole method to that madness. And I do want you showing up on a specific platform, whether that's LinkedIn or Instagram, whatever it is. Not every channel will work for everyone, and you don't have to be on every channel, which is nice. Your audience, your offer, and your own strength determine whether that's LinkedIn, whether you're just going to be doing referral partnerships, or whether you're going to be speaking on stages, or you're doing paid ads. What matters is whether it's consistent and whether it's actually yours, meaning it keeps working even on the weeks that you don't feel like showing up. If I'm going on vacation, I still want leads coming in. And if leads show up in a predictable rhythm like that, then you can mark this one as green for you, right? The traffic light judging that we're doing on ourselves. If your pipeline entirely depends on your mood that week, that's a yellow or even a red. So be honest in your answers. A stands for acquire. Acquire is turning a lead into a paying client. This is where good marketing goes to die if you don't have a real sales process behind it. So sales and marketing go hand in hand when you have your own business. And 2 things wreck this pillar. First, underpricing. So most service professionals that come to me, they charge based on what feels safe to ask for, not what the transformation is actually worth to the client. I do a lot of times say beginners should price themselves a little bit lower. And then once they get in a good flow and they've helped enough people, then we got to up the pricing. The second is no repeatable framework. So if you're doing sales calls, you need to have a structured conversation. And that is something that you can do repeatable over and over and over again. You have a script, you know how to do objection handling and all that good stuff. Or whether that is something that you're doing on your website and you're doing your sales there. If it's working, you are in the green. If you're not getting any clients, then it's a red. If you're getting some every now and then it's a yellow. But definitely something you need to work on. You need to have a framework that is something that's repeatable. C is for captivate is what happens after they say yes. You gotta keep your clients engaged. You gotta get them super awesome results and turning them into people who talk about you without you asking for it. This is called retention and referral. And this pillar, it's something that starts compounding. So if you have referrals and you have good testimonials, you're going to have more clients coming in. So very, very important. And then the T is track. Track is the pillar with no glamour at all. And a lot of people that I work with hate this. But once they start working with me, they get more comfortable with it. So The problem is if you don't know your numbers, leads per week, close rate, retention, and you're optimizing on just gut alone, that's not good. It's not enough. You need that hard data so you know exactly what's happening in your business so you can optimize the stuff that's working, you can kill the stuff that's not working, and you can figure out exactly what you need to do to fix your business. You need about 4 or 5 numbers that actually tell you where the business is breaking down. Look at them often enough that if you do have a problem, you can catch it while it's small. So a little test. If you can tell me right now what your close rate was last month, you're in the green. If you'd have to guess, that's a gap you need to be closing first. And if you've had no closes last month, the whole thing needs to be looked at, which is okay. That happens to a lot of us when we're starting out. Run through all 6 and you'll probably see a mix. Some green, some yellow, a couple of red. It's totally normal, and it doesn't mean your business is going to die. It's just a map for you. Lean into the greens and go fix the reds first, because that's usually where the real leak is. And then this is the exact path from 0 to consistent 10K months. Identify, market, pull, acquire, captivate, track. Once you're there, the next question is how you scale past it without burning out. And that's a different video entirely. I've also been in the burnout stage. I don't wish that on you. So we don't want you to do that. So if this helped you to get started with your framework and building your business and your systems, please hit subscribe so you can get the next video. And if you loved it, make sure you join my Impact membership. Go on the wait list or go into school. You have all the links below so you can get started with your Impact system and I can help you build it.